Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna be talking about what's really been happening in Palestine. Now, there are people who are labeling this as a Palestinian-Israeli conflict. I just want to stop you right there. No, this is not a conflict. A conflict, if you are aware with the term of conflict, then you might know that conflict connotes basically some sort of symmetry of power, which in this case there is no symmetry. This is total imbalance of power where basically Israel is at the top with their top notch and fancy war equipment. Palestine is basically at the bottom of the barrel. They are unarmed. So how can this be a symmetry of power when one of them is unarmed? One of them don't even have a army. This is illegal occupation of Palestine. This is Israel stripping Palestinians of their basic human rights. This is ethnic cleansing. This is apartheid. This is all of these but a conflict. Now that you got the term conflict right, let's move ahead. Now a lot of people are having a hard time figuring out, they say who started it first. It was the Palestinians who attacked first, and this is the Israeli reaction. No, this is not it, because if you go into the history, you will know how Israel came into being. Now let me simplify this for you with a example. Let's say that a friend of yours called and say, hey, I got kicked out, can I come over and stay with you for a while? And you say, yeah, come over. So he comes over, you give him a room, and he stays there. So after a few while, he starts inviting his friends, and his family as well, and they, start, occupying some other bedrooms, and they are basically using your resources. So at first you are, just being nice, and you're just quiet and saying like, yeah, okay, they will leave in a few weeks. It's okay. They just got stripped of their home, so it's okay. But then when things starts to expand, that's when you speak up and you say, hey guys, you may have to move out, or you should find a new place. And that's when they say that no, we are not gonna go out, this is our home, and if you say something against or protest or do something, we will kick you out of your own home. The home that you have given us, we will kick you out of here, since we here are in majority, and they basically restrict you to your bedroom. So this is what basically has happened with Palestine, where Israeli settlers came and now they have the majority there, and this is what they are doing. They are brutally killing people. They are shooting innocent Palestinians, and they are doing everything that's against the law. Now let me give you some geographical information. So basically the old city of Jerusalem was divided into 4 quarters: the Armenian quarter, Muslim quarter, Christian quarter, and the Jewish quarter. Now under the international law and UN, the old city of Jerusalem was divided into 2 parts: East Jerusalem and West Jerusalem. The West Jerusalem was given to Israel, and the East Jerusalem was given to Palestinians. But in 1967, what happened was that Israel, illegally took over and occupied the east part of Jerusalem as well, the part that is legally Palestinians, the part that is theirs, and the part where our Al-Aqsa mosque is. Now Al-Aqsa is the third most holiest places in Islam, and they're not even allowing people who are Palestinians who are living in East Jerusalem their legal right to Al-Aqsa. They are not even allowed to visit that, and Israel has the full control over that land as well, and Al-Aqsa as well. Now what happened is that since we Muslims have such a great importance to Al-Aqsa, Israelis do is that they basically since they know this is our soft spot, so whenever the Palestinians in other territories, the besieged strip of Gaza and the east part or the neighborhood around that, they start to retaliate or fight for their fight in terms of protest about their basic human rights. Whenever they protest or retaliate against the government, what happens is that the Israelis, they attacked Al-Aqsa. This has been happening before as well. Now this time what happened was that there were protesters who were protesting in Sheikh Jarrah. Now what Sheikh Jarrah is, that Sheikh Jarrah is a neighborhood in East Jerusalem, which is legally part of Palestine that Israel took over. Now what's happening is that the government is backing Israeli settlement organizations to come over, which are facilitating the Israeli settlers that are taking over the homes of Palestinians. They are throwing them out, and they are settling there. So what happened is that in that particular neighborhood, Sheikh Jarrah, the people there, the Palestinians, the innocent people whose home they are stripping them off, they are protesting there. They are unarmed, they are just chanting and protesting against the government. So what happens is that the police there, obviously they part with the settlers, and they are throwing people out of their houses. They are tormenting them. They are brutally dragging them out of their homes on their land. So basically, they are protesting and saying no to state-sanctioned ethnic cleansing that has been happening there. So now what's happening is that, Israeli government is saying that this is a private land dispute. No, this is not a private land dispute. UN and 190 organizations for human rights, regional and international, has labeled this as a war crime. This is ethnic cleansing. This is what's happening in Sheikh Jarrah. And this is why the Muslims and the Palestinians there are protesting. And what the Israeli do against this protest? They attack Al-Aqsa. They attacked Al-Aqsa in the most holiest month of Muslims, Ramadan, and in the most holiest part, the last 10 nights. So basically, the innocent Palestinians there were, they were praying there in Al-Aqsa. And Israeli armed forces attacked there with stun grenades and rubber pistols, and they injured over 600 innocent, including children there. Now what's happening is that since Palestinians and all over the world, Muslims are very fond of our holy mosque Al-Aqsa, they are they are enraged. They are protesting against Israelis attack on our beloved mosque. Basically, they are using their supremacist judicial system and making this all legal, and they are colluding with Israeli settler organizations and allowing them to take over Palestinian homes. Just because something is legalized, that does not mean it is moral. That does not mean it is correct. So what's happening there is basically ethnic cleansing, that using brutal force, they are murdering them, killing them, and they are even launching attack on Gaza. Since Gaza tried to retaliate against this inhumane eviction of Palestinians, this attack on our holy mosque Al-Aqsa, since they retaliated against Israel. Now what Israel is doing is that they are bombing Gaza. They are since of today 132 Palestinians were killed there, and half of them were children that are 9 years old, that are like 10 years old, and they are being killed for doing nothing, just for asking for their basic human rights. Now what I want us to do is that I want all of us to spread this message as far as we can. We want people to have the correct view of this situation. We need to tell them this is not what the Israel is portraying it to be. We need to make sure that our image is portrayed correctly. We need help from international powers, because this is getting out of hand. This is total torture and inhumane that has been going around. So basically we need to raise our voice, and we need to build the pressure on international society so that they can take an action and stop this terrorism that Israel is spreading in Palestine right now. You guys should share this video, and talk about this, talk about on your channel, talk about on your platforms that you are right on this, and spread this information, and do not let them let this pressure building down. We need to make sure that they take a specific action, they take the right action against Israel this time. Thank you guys.